Well, hello there. How are you today? It's Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So, today I wanted to actually talk a little about, what it is I do. This is such a tough thing for me to just answer. I can't say, oh, I'm a construction worker, or I'm a cashier, or I'm a chambermaid. I can't just narrow things down. And no, I don't do any of those things. Okay, well, I am a chambermaid for myself. I'm not a construction worker unless you include IKEA furniture, putting that together. But yeah, it's so hard to. I've always had a challenge in trying to explain to somebody what it is I do for a living. And, those who are in the field of the woo woo kind of get it. But it's it's kind of it's tough to explain. So I thought I would just do tonight a little bit about it, and it has to do with Wellness Wednesday because really it's all about helping people heal. And yeah, that's very, very broad subject. It's about connecting and bringing clarity and healing in whatever form somebody needs. So really, it's like inspirational soul work. And you think, well, gee, that's not narrowing it down, Lorraine. And it's not, because there's so many different modalities that I use to help people that sometimes you don't need more than one. Sometimes you need, a few of them to really allow, the healing to for that particular person. And it can vary too if they come for a series of sessions. It's not always the same thing. Yeah, mind you, in the beginning it was like, okay, I'm a reflexologist, and that's what I did. That's what I got my foot in the door, boom, boom, by doing reflexology. And then it just morphed from there, doing Reiki and giving people Reiki sessions, which helps their energy in so many different ways, to teaching Reiki and sharing that with others so they can, for one, help heal themselves, and then to help heal other people. But what it really boiled down to was connecting. What do they need to know about themselves to heal? And clarity. So how does you make, what do you do in order to make that happen? And then the healing itself, which I like to say it happens very quickly, but it's this part of ourselves that gets in the way and makes it take longer to show up for ourselves. So there's many different ways of bringing healing, and I like to kind of split them up into two categories. One is the seen, and the other is the unseen. So the seen are inspirational things, like this is something you can do for yourself. Inspiration: wake up in the morning, you could pull some angel cards. I've got these great little one-word cards in a little dish, and just give them a little shuffle, or a little you know shuffle in the dish, pull a card, and find out what the card has to tell you. So starting my day, and the angels are telling me to trust. So throughout the day, I can just keep that in mind. It plants a seed. It helps you be inspirational. I find divination cards very helpful with inspiration as far as angel cards. They're definitely upbeat and light, as opposed to tarot cards. Hi, Alana. Good to see you. Good to see you here. So I'm just talking about all the multitude of things that I do that are interesting to me, and hopefully to my students and clients. So yeah, angel cards, they're very uplifting. There's also tarot cards, and nowadays you don't just have the regular old tarot cards, but you can have like fairy tarot cards and different things. They tell a little bit of a different story. Can give you some insight. They can give you some answers, some clarity on what it is you need to know about. But always keep in mind with anything to do with divination, which is, trying to see clarity of things. Hi, Jesslyn. Good to see you. Um, Always keep in mind when you're pulling cards that they're really a snapshot in a moment of time. They're giving you insight into one choice, one aspect you could take. And it's not to say this is going to happen, it's going to come true, and that's that, right? Your mom has those angel cards too. Oh, the little ones? Yeah. These are actually my daughter's. I bought them for her, but they sit in our office space here. And I always like to pull one every day, or used to pull 3 before I tucked her into bed. And yeah, it's just fun. It's a way of really bringing your intention into where you want to put your energy. And it's a great way to start the day. It's a great way to end the day too. So yeah, I was talking about divination cards. They're a snapshot in a moment, which means it's not a fortune telling thing where this is going to come true. I mean, even fortune telling, it is, you always have choices. You always have free will. And with cards and card spreads, it's just giving you an overview and guidance into what could or may not happen. And a lot of, the readings I do, they're actually quite accurate, and especially telling of what's happening in the moment now and what the reading is about. And then it guides you into your possibilities. And then it's truly up to you to decide that you're going to do the work or make the choice or what have you. There's also different oracle type cards, like the animal kin oracle, and oracle cards differ from tarot because tarot is more structured. You have the major arcana and the minor arcana. The minor arcana are very similar to the playing cards that we have. That's actually where playing cards derive from. You've got all 4 suits. You've got the court cards, like the Jack, Queen, King. It's a little, it's Knight, Queen, King. But plus you have the page in there. And those oftentimes represent everyday occurrences in your life, or represents people in your life. But it also, the major arcana it's more following a story of, say, the beginner, the fool, and his journey through maturing, not just growing older, but maturing through the experiences that he has or she has. And so they give more of a story. It's more of a karmic look at things. And it's really a great way to get some clarity on a specific topic if you're really focused on something. But if you just want some inspiration, and that sort of thing, oracle cards are really good for that. And depending on, the author and who has who's done the artwork, the theme of each deck is going to be slightly different. So, this one, it's all about the energy from the animals, like the animal, what they can bring to you, not kind of like medicine, if you will, animal medicine. And then, again, there's more, instead of just the one word angel cards, you also have something that's a lot more like a tarot card, which are, the different type of angel cards. They're still oracle cards, but they have more, when you have them, there's a booklet that comes with it too, and there's more information in the write-ups. Now, if you ever come to my intuition classes, my intuitive groups, I say just take this book and throw it away because oftentimes we're guided by what we see in the imagery, but it does come with a book. So if you're new to it, you can look up the meaning of the card and what the card represents to the author when they created it. I always like to, most of the time, 99.99 of the time, I like to rely on my intuition with it, because if someone's asking a question, that's not necessarily when he wrote the book. Oh, if someone asks this question, this is what the meaning is. So I like to just allow, spirit to flow through. Hey, Sally. Look at everybody showing up. Hello, hello. Good to see you. So I'm just talking about the different tools that I use to help people. So I've got two categories, the seen and the unseen. And I'm just talking about the unseen now, the more of the magical, the woo-woo side of things. The seen. It's still woo-woo, right? The seen is things like, oracle cards and tarot cards. Let me put some of these things down. I'm running out of space in front of me here. And there's also things like crystals. Crystals, you see them, you know what they look like. For example, a nice little cluster, a quartz cluster. These are great to have in your space to help shift the energy, to amplify it. Some crystals, like that's what quartz does. Some crystals help to bring the energy, a little softer. For example, my celestite here. It's very soft color of blue. Hey, it kind of matches my hair now. So this is a very, very soft, angelic crystal, the energy of it. It may look, and it's hard, and it may look like quartz, but it's not. It's actually very soft compared. Quartz on the Mohs scale, like if you say from 1 to 10, diamond is a 10, quartz is a 7, so it's pretty strong. Celestite is like a 3 to 3.5, so it's fairly soft. And the interesting thing is by the scale of hardness, or the scratchable scale is actually what you can refer to it, is that it can also give you an indication on the energy of it. So this energy is a lot softer. This is something you can have by your bedside to help bring, gentle, relaxing energy. I think I'm going to put this by my bed tonight. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I love it. Thank you. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. So what are some of your favorite crystals? Because there's just so many. I only have a few here. So tiny little clear quartz, or big, huge, massive quartz. And it's really cool because, you see it on this side. How many of you have been out somewhere and you have seen a rock that looked like this? Right? You've probably seen one, this side of it, and be like, oh, isn't that a pretty colored rock? Well, it's quartz. We've lots of quartz here in British Columbia. Except on this side, it's an actual point. And this is not a polished point. You can tell it's got what's known as striations, stripes going across. Polished crystals. Now let's see on the top. Is it polished? Yeah, it's possible the top has been polished. Not this one though. You can tell where there's little growth marks on it. I prefer the ones that are, more naturally formed, but I have a special place in my heart for the formed ones too. I don't have any here, but spheres or, circle shaped ones have beautiful energy to them. They're very soft energy and they emit very softly in all directions. Something like this is more directional, sending you energy. Something that's more of a cluster, energy goes in all directions. So let's see, what do we have? Iolite and tanzanite. Oh, so you like those purpley colors. Yeah, they're beautiful. And the energies of those ones as well, they're very high vibrational, and it's probably why you're drawn to it. Yeah. Labradorite. Yes, I love it. It is a magical stone, that labradorite. With, if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of a darker stone, and you turn it around and there's flashes of blue and sometimes orange, and you're like, oh, what's that? Shiny object. Clear quartz or amethyst. Yes. And amethyst is a type of quartz. There's just different minerals when it's being formed. Sally, what do you like? Bloodstone. Ooh, wow, interesting. And that's another interesting thing too, is that we're drawn to different crystals at different times. Sally's drawn to bloodstone right now. What does that say to you, Sally? What is that? Why do you feel you're drawn to that one? And often it might be something as simple of, oh, I just love the color. You know, it's very green and there's little spots of red. Some have more than others. And, you know, there's an there's a reason you're drawn to different things. And the cool thing is you don't even need to know. You don't need a degree in gemology to know. You just know, you trust your intuition and you have it with you. That's what we say working with it. Is you just having it with you and looking at it, or, you know, meditating with it. That's a bunch of great ways to work with crystals. Oh, you were taking the beams of energy? Yeah. Awesome. And another thing is, you know, having pendulums. Not all pendulums have to be crystal, but I kind of like the crystal ones. I've got a few of them now. This one's nice little round, clear rose quartz. So with this, you can really get clarity because you can ask binary questions, yes and no questions, this or that questions to get answers. So the key is that you want to have your arm straight and still. You know, often if you have it, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Drawing a blank. What's the word I'm looking for? Just having your arm so you're not moved, right? And you're not influencing it. Yeah, your hand moves a bit. Try and keep your hand steady and straight and not move it, right? It's going to move. Every time we breathe, our whole body moves and vibrates. So the key is to just keep it as still as you can, not being rigid, because you want the energy to flow. And then you start by just qualifying what your answers are. Please show, and it's okay if it's swinging a little bit. And then you just ask, please show me yes. And it will give you an indication. For me, it's always a clockwise circle most of the time. I always check. Look at that. It's already knowing I'm going to ask it what's next. So please show me no. And I'll usually get a forward and backward motion. So from here, I can then ask a question like, should I wear sandals or boots? Well, it would be, should I wear sandals? And I would get a yes or a no. Should I wear the blue sandals? Yes or no? That, you know, that sort of thing. To just, it's like muscle testing that way, where our vibration comes through to the crystal and it allows us to make a decision. But how do I use this in sessions? Well, sometimes it's getting clarity on, you know, the balance of the body, of the chakras, or, you know, specific issues that somebody's dealing with. There's so many different tools out there, you know. Oh, what did you say, Sally? I find it warm and it just feel good with it. Oh, perfect. I love it. Yeah, interesting. You got to go with what you know, right? So that's another thing is using a pendulum. And it can really be anything. And if I don't have my pendulum around, I'm usually wearing a pendant. And the same thing, I could just take this with the chain and use it as a pendulum as well. Have pendulum will travel. Hey, Marty, how's it going? Good to see ya. So what else? Those are basically the scene objects. Well, I guess other things are like incense. Essential oils, those are great uplifters. You know, have a diffuser, put some drops of essential oil in there to help diffuse into the space. And the cool thing is the little, I don't have any handy, but the little essential oil jar, you know, you don't realize, like, if you have rose essential oil, which is super expensive if you just got the pure, and I can't remember, but it takes thousands of petals all distilled and crushed to get like just a tiny little vial of essential oil. And, you know, same with lemon. I think it takes like 70 lemons to get that pure essential oil. Lemon's one of my favorite scents. The lemon and lime, just uplifting. It's really cool. So these little vials with that essential oil in it has the vibration from that plant. So you could think of it as almost like plant medicine as well. Just having the bottle with your intention that it is emitting vibration into your space. It doesn't just have to be the scent itself, right? Palo Santo, yes. Palo Santo is a sacred wood, and that can be, you can burn it and have the wood smoke like incense. I think you can also get it in an essential oil now too. I'm not sure how they do that. I guess they squeeze the wood. Who knows? So those are other ways. Sage, sweetgrass, those are great ways to clear space. Sage is good for removing dense energy. You burn it, you can, go around your space. I like to go counterclockwise to gather up the energy you're trying to release, and then open a window and allow it energetically and intentionally to go out. And then and yeah, that brings me to another scene item. It is a crystal bowl, or a singing bowl, or a bell. That sound vibration can also just disperse the energy that you need it to. So many different ways. And all of these can be incorporated into a session. Remember back before COVID when you can actually have an in-person session, have the person come in, you've got beautiful, relaxing music playing, which is creating this ambiance of vibrational cocoon. You may have essential oil that's creating this beautiful scent memory. You have the actual session, and this brings me to the unseen. If you come for, like a Reiki session or something, you can't see what's happening because it's energy. You can definitely feel it. And it's my experience that oftentimes it's the unseen stuff that you feel the most. What about you? And maybe not in the moment, but it to me has the longer lasting effect than something physical. So Reiki, the crystals themselves, placing crystals and doing a crystal healing session. Gosh, just talking about this, it feels like forever since I've actually done something like that. I kind of miss my healing room. Now that I've moved, and even before I moved, like 6 months before I moved, I couldn't have people over. So there was never this final, well, this is using the room for the last time. Like I didn't know the last time I used the room, it was going to be the last time, So this is kind of a little bit of wistful thinking there, right? Hey, Kathy, nice to see you. Thanks for the hearts. So with that, it actually lets me talk about, emotions now, the unseen, that there's a lot of emotional stuff that goes on. That's why I like to think of what I do as an inspirational soul work, because it really stems from a need to feel seen, a need to be understood, and a need to say, hey, I need help, and go from there, Yeah, I miss that too. Someday, my love. Okay, now we're singing. I'll stop now. Thank me. Thank me for stopping. Yeah, so the mindset is another aspect to things. And that's when, I can't even remember. I think it was 11 or so years ago that I learned EFT. I took an in-person class. I've taken online classes to upgrade it. Emotional freedom technique, tapping. You've probably seen it. That really helps to release the emotional attachment that becomes a physical issue in the body. And it's not saying that the issue becomes a physical issue, but we tend to hold negative things in our muscles. Our muscle memory, it holds a lot of things. And to be able to release them in a way that's gentle, in a way that you feel supported and seen and, just understood. It's important for us to have that. And to have a tribe of people around you that you can do that with. And I know now with COVID still hanging in there, dragging on our coattails, I think a lot of people are who were upbeat throughout the whole thing are now kind of going, okay, this has been a marathon. I've been so upbeat. My smile's starting to falter. Hurry up and get away. We still have to find ways to release that energy. You know, it's, I'm going to bring it up, meditation. It is a classic way to release and give your mind a break. And no, I don't mean you're sitting there without thinking, because it's impossible. Who here has tried to meditate and have not succeeded? Let me know in the comments. Because to me, meditation is directing your thoughts to where you want them to be. And because we have like 60,000 thoughts a day, and the mind is going a mile a minute. And it's usually when we finally settle our busy body down from doing all day, then we sit down, that everything starts up. And you're like, oh, now you have time to think about this. Oh, great. That's, and when does this usually happen? When we're trying to go to sleep. Because a lot of people keep going until it's time to fall into bed, because life is so busy. And therefore they have trouble sleeping. And if you have trouble sleeping, eventually it's going to have an effect on your whole life. Now, mind you, don't listen to everybody who says you need to have 8 hours of sleep. Everybody is different. Some people can get away with 4 hours sleep. Seriously, 4 hours. And they get up, they're fine. And maybe they have a nap throughout the day. Find your flow and don't try to fit yourself into somebody else's ideal parameters. That's one thing that really kind of drives me crazy, is that there's so many of these self-help books out here, and everybody's trying everything under the sun, and they're like, I did that, it didn't work. You have to find what works for you, for your body. Maybe you don't need as much sleep, but you're telling yourself, oh, I only got 6 hours sleep. It wasn't enough. I'm supposed to get 8 to 10 hours. So maybe you're getting, your body's getting enough sleep, and it's time to get the F up and do something. And that happens to me. It'd be like, it's 5 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I stayed up a bit late and I still woke up at 5. And it's like, okay, well, do I lay in bed or do I get up? I give myself that kind of cushion of going, okay, maybe I can still fall back to sleep. And if I'm still kind of ruminating and I'm not falling back to sleep, it's like, well, I'm awake now. I should just get up. I could always, have some quiet time later. And then that's where meditation comes in. When meditation is like a power nap. You may fall asleep during it or you may not, but it gives your body that rest. And I think really sleep isn't just about, REM sleep. Yes, it's very, very important for your health, but sleep is also about letting your body rest and your mind, your subconscious, just kind of release, to dream. Some people have very vivid dreams, prophetic dreams. Some people get their answers in their dreams. So it's important. But if you're fighting against something that just isn't your flow, then you've got to find a different way of doing it, right? So yeah, meditation. I like to also think of it as activation, actively keeping your mind focused on something you want it to be focused on, whether it's a mantra. Mantras are great, especially Sanskrit mantras that you don't really know what you're saying, but it sounds really cool. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Calling in, that one's basically praying to Ganesh to clear the energy, clear the way, clear the obstacles. So you can do mantras, and that just focuses your mind on that. So you're not thinking about all the other things that you have to do. Oh, the dishes in the sink. Oh, I've got that next week. I got doctor appointments. I got to get the oil changed on the car. All these things. Of course, all of them come to mind when you go to sit down to meditate. So that's why it's a good key to give yourself a mantra or an affirmation. I am at peace. I am relaxed. life is good, I'm successful, all these different things. They're just little mini motions in throughout your day. Oh, Marnie, that's a good one. Yes, I love that. I miss that. My drums are packed. Drumming and or rattling. Love it. Drumming is really good to ground. And when you do continuous drumming, you can do a little drum, like a sacred journey. Oh, I love that. Journey, go to the lower world and go hang out with, your spirit guides and your power animals and stuff. I love it. It's fun. Core shamanism. And rattling too. That's really fantastic to really shift the energy, gets your mind clear, because you can't think when there's going on, right? It's very powerful stuff. And there's something about that repetitiveness too that really allows things to clear. Sometimes you can only repeat something so many times, but if you're drumming or rattling along with it, or in place of, it gives you that opportunity to just release those thoughts of the everyday world and focus on something you want to. It's a good way to focus on things you need to find a solution to. Because I know if there's an issue and I have a solution, sometimes just sitting down and going, I wonder what the answer is, it doesn't work. I either get distracted by something, or I feel pressure. It's like writer's block. So to be able to just, meditate and just release it to the universe and say, I'm looking for a solution, and I'm going to just meditate, and I'm going to journey. You heard of journal. Well, journey, you can just walk out the door in your imagination and just go for an imaginational walk. Imaginational. I think I just came up with a new word. So there's all sorts of ways, and I feel I'm really inspired to help people in the moment of what they need. I think one of my superpowers is actually seeing how people speak, how the words they use, the thoughts that they think and they say out loud that could be detrimental to themselves. Thoughts can empower us or weaken us, even if we aren't aware of it. I used to be, I'm kind of humorous. If you've met me, I have people tell me I should have been a comedian. Oh God, can you imagine the pressure going on stage? No, thank you. But to really, and I've kind of lost my train of thought now. Shoot, just thinking of stage fright. Oh my God, poof, it's gone. Yeah, I don't know. It's gone. That's crazy. I wish I could rewind and listen to it again. But really, it's shifting. Oh, self-depreciating humor. That's what I was going to say. That used to be my go-to thing. I'd make fun of myself, and it would make people laugh. And I did it to just be funny, not because I believed it. However, that vibration is still there, right? Oh, I'm such an idiot, right? And then that energy is there. I've said it. I can't take it back, but I can flip it. I can switch it around. And I don't do that as much anymore. I'll never say never, because we always have the little spies around us. The more people we tell this to, the more they are the mirrors for us to go, aha, you just said something negative, which is a good thing, right? That's what my daughter's for. Mom, oh yeah, you're right. Practice what you preach. Okay. So self-depreciating humor is it's taking chunks out of your higher vibrational energy, believe it or not. But when you can find ways to prime that back up again, to release that, you repower yourself. So really, within you have a power plant of energy. It brings connection to the people around you. It brings connection to source energy. It brings connection to the earth. And the rest is all gravy. The rest is all fun, because You have that groundedness to the earth that says, hey, I have to walk through this lifetime. I must do the work in order to have the rewards. And that doesn't mean it has to be hard, grueling work. That's a belief. But it's also about connecting and being spiritual. And I know I'm speaking to the converted already. You know, we are connected. And I think it's more of a struggle to stay grounded because it's like, no, I just want to be up there. I don't want to think about all this stuff down here. You know, like for me personally, I do not like housework at all. At all. I see it and I let it pile up, the kitchen sink, and it drives me crazy. And I know better and I know when I do it, it's like, oh, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it did. But it gets to you. Man, you still don't want to do it. No, I'd rather be doing anything but. It's just as well I don't ride a motorcycle anymore because I would just be out all the time. And I wouldn't want when then you come home and you're like, I'm home. It was so fun and free. And then, pile of dishes in the sink. Back to reality. We used to go on group rides, like weekend-long group rides, sport lap around Mount St. Helens. We called it Splash. So much fun, so much fun. And the first few we did, you know, there were, 50 plus people. It was very well organized. And there was always, prizes at the end, door prizes. We'd all be meeting in, after staying a few days in one area and then just riding around before everyone said goodbye. You know, we'd have these door prizes and fun together and, bench racing, right? Talking about the weekend and how much fun it was. And then the host at the time, he would go, okay, and now it's time to get back to reality. And right then, my energy just, whoa, luckily, we still had the whole ride to get back home, which, takes a good portion of the day. But yeah, well, and then I kind of thought, you know what? I want my everyday reality to be something fun. So being able to incorporate all of this stuff that I've talked about in this whole live video, there are ways to bring that magic into your life every day. And yeah, I have a pile of dishes literally waiting for me to do. And I'm probably not going to do them tonight, but I'll do them tomorrow. I'm going to pop in a podcast or something, or listen to some inspirational talk, or, something to give me something pleasant to do while I get these dishes done. And it'll help me feel better about what I'm doing because energy is going into everything. So if I'm doing these dishes drudgingly, going, dishes, I hate doing dishes, which, I have done that in the past. It's like you're putting that energy into those dishes and then you put them up in the cupboard. And then you go and take them down to have a meal on them. And that vibrational energy is on them, whether you understand it is or not. And those who are very sensitive to energy, very empathic to energy, are going to feel it even more. So being more aware of that, catching yourself in time, not beating yourself up, going, crap, I did it again, but going, I remembered. That's another thing that seems to happen. Hey, Tammy, you made it. That's another thing that seems to happen is people will say, oh, I forgot, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, well, no, you just remembered. If you forgot, you wouldn't have remembered it all. I'm a little logical that way. So switch it, flipping it. Oh, I forgot my keys. And then you have to go get them. Oh, I remembered my keys. I remembered I need my keys. And, it took me a few times of doing that to not to feel that negativity. And then it's like, oh, yeah, hey, I remembered. And then I'd celebrate. Oh, I remembered I need my wallet. And then I back into the house to get it. Instead of, crap, I forgot my wallet. Don't, back into the house to get it. See the difference in the energy? That's how I can be so happy and upbeat all the time. No, you don't want to be a fly on the wall. I'm not always like this. But it helps to have all of those tools available to you. Okay? And I'm not going to recap it all because you're just going to have to watch the live again or the replay to catch it. So I'm just going to pull one card from each of these 2 decks here for the collective of everybody, because I'd like to just go and I'm probably not going to do the dishes, but I'm going to go and just relax. I was up super early today. So if it's okay with you, I would just like to pull 1 card from each deck. So the Animal Kin Oracle. So just talking about all the different tools that are available. And by the way, right now, if you're interested, I have a trial for a 2-week trial for my Feed Your Soul membership. It's only $7 for 2 weeks. Next week, coming up Tuesday, I'm having, there's a master class because I do meditation and activations throughout the month in the membership. And each month there's also a free masterclass, an hour-long masterclass, and it's going to be on crystal grids. So if you're not in the membership and you're interested, you might want to join. It's $7 to learn about crystal grids for an hour. Like, you know, to me it's a no-brainer, but I already know what the content is. So I'll pop a link in a second. I'm just going to pull a card here. Everybody want this card? Okay. Cardinal, passion. I guess tonight I've just been talking really what I'm passionate about, right? I'm passionate about inspiring people to know that their soul work is here. Yeah. I'll message you. I'm interested in that. Okay. I actually have a link that I can send you. I can pop in the comments here, and you can click on that. It's like it'll take you to a little sales page. So the thing is, you'll sign up for the $7 trial, and after the 2 weeks is up, it will go to, oh, it's not letting me put it in there. It will go to its regular monthly rate is $19.95 a month. But if you just want the 2-week trial, then cancel it before that comes, and it's all good. So yeah. Oh, hi. Calliope's here. I just love saying your name. It's fun. Yeah, cardinal energy. We don't have cardinals here in the West. We have their cousins, the Stellar's jay, and they look very similar, but they're blue. But very, very passionate energy. So it's really giving you that fire to do what it is you really want in life. And we still have to do the things we need to do in life. But when you can pepper it in with the things you love to do, that can really help to raise your vibration. And the other deck that I'm going to pull 1 card from is the Angel Prayers. So Kyle Gray. And here we go. New beginnings. Thank you, angels, for opening up the doors to change. I am ready. Yeah. So with this one here, I mean, maybe you're new to some of this stuff. Maybe you are curious about some of the things that I've talked about and you want to know more about it. Just get in touch with me. You know, just get in touch. Let's see, Calliope. Been watching all along, loving everything. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, there's so much. Like, it's so hard to say, oh, what do you do? Oh, do you have an hour? Let me just show you. It's easier. So yeah, those were the 2 cards, passions and new beginnings. I mean, these two go hand in hand, right? Don't we, when we're starting something new, don't we always have passion for it? And it's when we've been doing it over and over and over that it starts to kind of get, you know, same old, same old. So finding something to bring that passion in again. You don't have to do something totally new, just shifting your energy. And really, that's where, you know, tapping is perfect for that, to clear your energy and let things be renewed again. Even just your breath work, breathing in Now that's inspiration. And then exhaling, and just doing that a few times can just regenerate renewed energy. Like, look, it's 7:45 p.m. and I still have energy to burn here. It must be all these crystals around. Bam! Just wear it as a hat. Or, no, never mind. Wonder Woman with a crystal bra on. All right. Yeah, they were great card pulls, weren't they? Okay, I'm going to see if I can pop that that link again, see if it let me. I don't know, for some reason. I might have to put it in after. Oh, there, it went. Let me know if you can click on that link. So if you're interested in the membership, again, it's the trial membership, only $7 for 2 weeks, and it will auto renew. So you can always cancel it if you don't want to renew it. You have access to everything. The membership has been up. I started it last March. So you have all of those archives to go through. I've got, mini meditations. I call it meditate on a dime, which there's 10 minutes and under meditations. Live meditations every week, 30-minute meditations, bonus meditations, meditation, but it's more than just meditation, really. It's there's different, they're kind of listed as meditation, but there's like the one I did today, I did a bonus one. It's more of an activation meditation. It was for divine masculine energy, so solar plexus energy. That one just popped it into the membership now. It's called Feed Your Soul. So it's in the development stages of shifting into the different modalities that I do. So but the core part of it is that meditation is important, but not in the way you think. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I always appreciate you. And thank you for your input. And if you continue to have questions about the things I've talked about, just reach out to me or, comment under the video. I always get notifications. And you have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we'll see you next Wellness Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Bye.